But before we start with the questions, I would give you room to introduce yourself, say who you are, what you do, and then we can start with the questions.
Okay.
Yes.
My name is Lenin. I'm working with a local NGO. It's called Tanzania Youth Coalition. I'm the director of the NGO. And what we are doing as an organization, we are doing a lot of things, but mostly it's just building capacity to young people and awareness raising and engaging them on the different policies in our country, but also outside of our country, Africa and Europe and other countries. The idea is just to make sure that the voice of young people are being heard from the level, national and international level. We believe that giving a chance to young people, then they could be able to make a more powerful community in our country. So that's why myself, I was started as a young volunteer to the organization for many years, almost 17 years. So I was just a volunteer, and from there it was giving me a chance to learn a lot of things through my organization, through the country, engaging different policies. It gave me a chance to travel outside the country and to learn about other countries and to a little bit to learn about other languages, like in German, a little bit. I know a few words in Germany, but I didn't have a really chance to have a clear understanding of Germany. So, and that is a very good because it gives you a different perspective. And this was very good for us, our organization. We believe in that because it gives more confidence to young people, especially in Tanzania. Most of us who have been going through this organization, at the moment, my former bosses, they are being a part of the government. And this is to show you how the empowerment they had it through our time when we were the youth. So I believe the changes should be started with the young people. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that was a very detailed introduction. Now let's get to the questions part. Everybody is dying to know what the current situation is in various countries, in various nations. It has been the topic all over. And now, as of Tanzania, what is the current corona situation? Can you tell us a little bit about it, as in the state at the moment?
Yeah. At the moment, the coronavirus situation, it's a bit contradicting somehow, because the way it was started, here in country, in Tanzania, around in March, that was the information people really started to get, like things were really spreading, and to hear that people had corona, and mostly were people who they were traveling from outside, like the foreigners, who were coming and going up the country. And then the government, they decided just also to take some precaution and measure to look at how they're going to deal with it, instead of the way we could just leave it and become more random. So they decided just to take attention and precaution. Most of the things was just to close the schools and the public gathering, or most of the public gathering, the majority, like the events, most of them, they were closed. So since in March, schools are closed until to date, and they were trying not to confusing people in terms of trying to do like a lockdown. In Tanzania, we didn't have a lockdown. What the government they were giving us which were most important information, was just to make sure that we are giving information to the people. So there were a lot of awareness campaign, which is still going on now. A lot of people not to go in the public with so many people, with congested. So instead, just to be away from that and stay at home but also continue working because they believe that if people were not working, then we could be in a hard time. But the awareness was very good because most of people, if you could look at this in the street now, everywhere, if you go in the small shops, people, they're putting the buckets of water and there's the soap and the sanitizers. So because the time when Corona was coming out, people, they were taking things for granted. The price of sanitizers were raised to a higher price. So it was really confusing how people could deal with that because majority will say, yeah, you need sanitizers. So for example, for us, we had, as an organization, we got a good chance. We invited one of our doctor, a friend of ours. She came to give us education because she's relating with the TYC. She's an alumna of the TYC. So she gave this education for free and it was very good because I almost have 15 staff in my office.
Can I interrupt you there?
Yeah.
Are you telling us now how the public awareness is being created, maybe? Because that is also part of that is the next question that I was going to ask. You might as well shortly elaborate on it and how the public awareness has been created in your office and maybe also outside the office and all over the country.
Yeah.
So we can also
the government, they give actually, I don't have the poster here. I could show you the posters, which we use it. But the government, they give us, what I should say, they give us instruction on how to deal with the corona. So not anyone, he can try to make other information regarding to the corona. So there are some guidelines regarding to the corona, which is a government circulated to everyone to use that as a module, to everyone to use it. So we took it and then we used our logo, TYC logo, because we have been around that. And for us as an organization, we decided to print 1,500 copies. And this was our internal funding. Nobody was just saying that, okay, can we give the money for Corona? Because now if you look at the NGO, most of them, they're getting funding from the outside to do with the Corona. This is our own source of funding. Nobody was giving us money. But why we did it? Because it's information that we are working with young people, so we need this information to go through to the community. So we were distributing this information or putting this poster to the local government authorities, to the hospitals, local hospitals, and to the market, and also to the bus stand, because that is a lot of people are passing. So we decided to use that as a chance to go and put those posters because the education is very, very important. And also, we use when we were distributing those posters, we use a bajaji, the tuk-tuk, 3 wheels, to distribute the posters. So most of our bajaji guys, they like the ideas, and we put the posters inside on their outside for their bajajis. So because they are getting customers, so they say, yeah, because before we get the customers, it will be very good for them to read it about the coronas. So we went to the other places. Some of them, they took the shoe shine guys. We went to the petrol stations. People, they are really welcome. They were really open. And this was very good because others, they took a poster. They say, yeah, let me bring this to my home because my children, then they can learn, they can know about this. So that is how the education has been going around. And still the government, they continue engaging. And if you go now to the television, I was watching there yesterday, all the local television, they give a minute to talk about the situation. And there are a lot of people in Tanzania, they're contributing. And now it gives more chance. Local people, they are really contributing. A lot of companies, they give a lot of support, especially because now, as you look at the corona, we are now to the point of how do we deal with these issues now? Because the spreading of the coronavirus has been going now to the community. It spread to the community. So that's the point where it comes.
Okay. Thank you. Now, let's talk about testing. How is testing carried out nationwide? The testing for the infection
Yeah.
virus,
At
yeah?
the moment, I cannot say that the testing has been going around to everyone in the country. Because I've seen other countries like what they're doing in Kenya, they're doing that testing to everyone, you know. Here, no, we are not now in the position of doing that. And I think it's, if I look on the other side, okay, because if you look on the old regulations, they're telling you about posters on the coronas, the symptoms, how do you feel? I think it's a very important to, as an individual person, to take that responsibility, rather than now creating a test. Because for me, of course, the testing is very good, and I don't want to be biased. But how do we do that? How are we sure that doing this, and then we're going to take us and to make sure that we control the coronaviruses? I don't have that guarantee on that, you know. So at the moment now in Tanzania, testing is just in a voluntary basis. And if you feel and you want to go and have a testing, you can go and have a testing, because now there are more hospital, they are doing that, and they can test for you.
Okay. What do you think? Can the range of testing give a consistent picture of how the virus is spreading in the country? If you look at the tests that have been conducted.
At the moment, you know, it's like that could be a good sign, but also it could be not a good sign somehow, because recently I was looking at, and it is a bit confusing, because what do we want a number for? Do we want to deal with, to try to make sure that we helping this our people, or do we want to have a number that show that the trends go up? That is it's an issue. I had it before, even I was asking my doctor, because for me, the numbers, they were really contradicting myself as a person who know to read and write. And it was really confusing that when I would see the number, they are telling me that there are maybe 11 numbers, they are now cured, now okay, they're safe, now they're going home, and 29 has been increasing, and then you see the number. So I was trying to calculate myself, when I reached on that numbers, I was not able, and then I would see the gap. And I was asking the doctor, why it's like this? So for me, we can get a number, but this might not give us a clear pictures, because if you look on the back, recently our president was asking about the reality on how people, they have been doing a testing. So, because this is something that even I can say to you that me, myself, I was really surprised that it was happening myself, that when I went to the hospital last week, I met with my doctor, and he was telling me, okay, he looked at me and he said that you have all the signs, give me, you have this COVID-19.
Wait a minute, you had the signs?
Yes, this,
Okay.
yeah. Without any testing, I tell her, and I cannot now, for example, I cannot smell anything. I cannot smell. Almost now 7 days, I cannot smell anything.
You're talking about right now, Lenin?
Yes.
Okay.
Until now, I cannot smell anything. And in my tongue, I had like an acid. I could not test him well, but now I can test the food. It's really delicious. I can eat. I test it. That's okay. But I had a pain in one side, in my nose, and headache in one side for some consistency, like 3-4 days. I had a flu and a fever. And I was saying, okay, maybe it's okay. Maybe because, okay, changing of the weather, because now it's a raining season in Tanzania, this is happening. And that is the time really these things are confusing, because the corona issue had come at the time where we has also the change of the weather. And this is I remember the doctor, she was telling me when this the changing of the weather will come, and when there will be a lot of rain, then there might be a lot of issues coming out. People that could have malaria, people that could have a fever, and so on, and people that could have a flu. So I had those kind of signs. And when she was trying to explain to me, I said, yeah, she said, yeah, you cannot smell, yeah. And in the throat here, I could not breathe well. But one day before I went to the hospital, I was feeling very bad in the night. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't breathe well. And I said, what is this? And I was started already to take some medication because I told her, and she would say, yeah, let me go and take this vitamin D and take this antibiotic and another medication. So I went and I bought it, and I was using for almost 2-3 days. So on Thursday night, I decided to text her. She didn't answer. I called her in the middle of the night. She said, okay, if you are not sleeping, use this medication and tomorrow come to the hospital. And I used that medication and I slept. In the early in the morning, then I went to the hospital. So she checked me and those was a sign. But one thing what she told me, whatever that we are doing here, if I tested you, it's going to give me positive. Mm-hmm. And there directly, you have to take you to the quarantine. I say, why? Why you should take me to quarantine? Yeah, he said, that's obvious. So it's better that I'm not testing you because that's the issue now. We are coming with the issues, the number. And that's why, do we want the number to save the people or do we want the number just to be recording the number and to give to the public? So there's a lot of attention. People, when they get this, of course, they are really feared. I was feared myself when I had this, how the situation was, how I calmed down and realizing that and understanding this. So if a person in a rural area got this or in far away, who doesn't access this kind of medical advices, how can he or her going to react in that situation? Because of what we see from the outside. So that is a situation I am at the moment.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much for that elaborated explanation on testing and your own personal experience. Yeah, you might have answered this question that follows. Yeah. It's about the how realistic do you think are the official numbers of infections?
Yeah, the official number, it's a bit challenge. It's a bit challenge because I've seen that my incidents happened on Saturday, and then on Sunday, our president was announcing about the testing issues. Mm. It was like it happened in a coincidence. It happened when I was sick, and the next day, the president announced it. I didn't know that he was doing that live. And he questioned about our national laboratory, which has a one who are doing this kind of testing. And I was listening to some other countries, and I was listening to BBC. They were asking one of the doctors in Canada, and this doctor was saying that about how things are being treated in a laboratory. And one of the things is sometimes he was talking about the testing kits, which is, he say he's 100% sure that it doesn't have doubt on that. But sometimes it happens, maybe people that can mix testing from the other patients. So you don't know if this testing, which I've been testing myself, is the one that they're using in a laboratory. And it confirmed me that I have a virus. So that is bring back and makes sense to my president when he was talking about other issues, what they were trying, like what he was saying, that they tried to test in the pawpaw and the goat and other things. And those, they were giving you some cases they've been giving to positive. So me, I'm not a scientist, but himself is a scientist. It gives you something to reason. If this guy is mad or he look at it in the big picture. So I think on the testing issues, there's something wrong. I find it maybe it could happen, they could give us a result, because now there's a committee which is, if you look at in Tanzania now, we don't give the number now.
Yeah.
The minister,
that is something I also wanted to ask. How transparent are the number of infections and the tests?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The minister,
There
she
hasn't
was
been
a,
information, yeah.
yeah, the minister, she was announcing today that there's some things which were not going well in the national laboratory. So they are waiting all the things to be very clear so that they can come up and put a number to give again, to continue give the results. Because for them, they look at it, okay, somebody is giving the results and give to the minister to announce it. But all of us, we are not sure that if this number were this in reality or not. You know? So that is an issue that it's happened now. So soon we are going to hear the number after what they were going through and investigating. If this the kit itself, it was giving the proper results and not the results from other people. You know, so those are the issues now we are waiting. Yeah.
Okay. Now, yeah, back to your work. How has this situation, maybe before you were sick or after you were sick, how did this situation affect your life and your work?
Yeah, the situation has been affected us so much and big time because it is most of our work is for us as an organization that we meet a lot with the young people and doing a lot of training, and we are traveling from one place to another. So, as I said in March, the government they were announcing that to stop all public gathering, which is consisting from 50 people, which is normally sometimes we have a training about 30 up to 40 people in different places. So this one, it has been put us in the backward in terms of implementing our activities. So at the moment now, we are not implementing any activities going outside, and we try just to use this social media account like ICT with a Zoom, some of the activities that we've been implementing with a few stakeholders. That is, at least we manage that. But with the mass gathering, majority to meet with more people, that has not been allowed, and we stopped that. Mm-hmm. And it's been affected us because at the moment we don't know when things will get back to the in normal, but I believe that soon things will going back in the normal way, and we have to take it in a very positive way because I think that this kind of disease is not going to be away for us for almost a year. So how do we going back again and staying like the way we used to be, you know? So we have to find a solution on how we are going to deal with these issues because you know, the vaccine will not come out tomorrow or a day after tomorrow. It will take a longer time. So that is the issues now. Yeah, we're waiting the go ahead from the government, and if they see things they control in a better way in terms of how this virus they can be controlled and people that are not really contaminated, I'm sure they will be allowed that and then again people to go in public. Because at the moment, if you look at in Tanzania, still some things like in the cargo or other business, people they continue doing it. We have a local flight operating from region to region, not outside, just a local flight. So that is, I'm sure that is it's a good sign. And it's also, so this was really affecting us in implementing our activity, which is some could be really far away from this. So we are looking at when we had a lot of some dates of doing some activity in same, like this month, now we have to postpone and change the dates in the next month. So we are always living in an assumption. Like we have to assume, okay, maybe next month things will get better. Can we do this in this date? Mm-hmm. Yeah. We cannot allow doing that because we are waiting go ahead from the government.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, final question.
No problem.
What do you think, or what chances do you see that the virus can be kept under control in Tanzania?
That's a good question. It's
Yeah.
hard. Yeah, I think it's a most of the important thing is we have to continue giving information to the community, and we have to continue that. We shouldn't stop that
Mhm.
because the way I looked at it, if you read some information in different places about this issue of corona, it's really contradicting. Everyone is explaining on his own way. From outside angle, I'm looking in Europe, I'm looking in America, and we have to find a way how to deal with it because, and we have to encourage our people that they have to believe in what measures we have to take our precaution ourselves, because that's very important. Like now, there's a lot of emphasizing of trying to give opportunity to a local industry in Tanzania to make a mask. I have my own mask here. It's a local one.
Wow, nice one.
So yeah, so this one I can use it when I'm doing. And most of the people they're doing this, you know, because one mask it is really expensive. It's almost €1, you know. So can you imagine €1 for that is a disposable mask, and you need to wear this kind of a mask for 4 hours, and then you have to take another one. Nobody was affording that. So the government now, they are really emphasizing, encouraging people to make their own mask, which is reusable, which I can wash it after going outside in the evening and come back, I wash it and I can use it again. So this is a precaution that people have been using it, and they are telling to the community that they have to take this responsibility. But also, people has been emphasized to wash their hands all the time. When you go outside, you meet in different places, in big community. People that have been installed some tanks. Now people they are very creative. Like if you look at SIDO is a small enterprises medium industry development. They create some machinery which you can use to wash your hands by use as a pedal without touching, because most of the viruses, you know, it comes with a touching on the hands or mouth or shaking the hands. But even when you go to the public, like if you want to clean your hands, you don't know somebody will touch it in the top. So for them, what they're using now, you can go to the places and use the paddle without any contaminated. And those are the new innovation. We need this to be that use it in a different way, in the public, in the community, and in the area. Even when the school is being open, this is an area that we need to emphasize in doing that. So the most important is to make sure that people are taking precaution. You stay away 1 meters, and so like if you look now, which is very good, I'm happy. Even in Daladala, we used to have people that are going a lot in Daladala, a lot of people. But at the moment now, you are not allowed to be many people in Daladala. So this is a kind of education we should continue telling or educate to our community, so that I'm sure in the end, then we'll be able just to take away this issue of the corona, or to deal better in a better way with the coronavirus. Yeah, so this is something which is, because sometimes you never know. I was looking at recently that somebody was saying that how, like in America, Trump was talk about it. He had his personal military. He got a coronavirus, and they were testing themselves. They say, yeah, you know, this is a very difficult. Sometimes this person is going back home. He stay with his family, and so the distance he was trying to assume the time if you are doing a testing, and after doing a testing you're going home. Between you can be contaminated with corona. Why that you had the test before? So those are the issues. How do we going away from that? When you have a testing, how do we make sure that we are not going back again? Oh, without a testing corona, because those are the issues now also contradicting us. Because some of them they say if you have a corona, you cannot get back because you have immune. But is it true or not true? And so, yeah, so these are the issues now we're trying to, I think, look at in the big pictures and to try to involve the specialists, the doctors, to give us also advice on how to deal in a better way, especially for us. I'm really in contact with the doctors all the time, especially when it comes to them when we want to go out and to meet with the, again, meet with the young people and doing our work. I have to know what is a precaution I have to do, because that is a very, very important.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, yeah, thank you very much, Lenin. And
You're welcome.
now we've come to the end of our interview.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
very good.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I wish you all the best and take care.